All right, Ben, what are we making today?
Well, it looks like we're gonna make some Menemen, actually. Something that originally comes from Turkey, as far as I know. That's where we've had it right before. But the biggest items in it is whole peeled tomatoes. It just sips in well with the eggs, right? That's the other thing. And then we have some peppers, some onion that we can dice up, some scallions here, right, for the end. It kind of starts right from when we were in Istanbul, right? And we would go to I'll call it the Menemen place.
Menemen
right?
place. We'd go down to the basement and have one of the best Menemens.
Yeah, I mean, that was how it was promised to us, right? Tim, our roommate, he used to say, this is probably the best Menemen place, at least in Europe, perhaps in all of Istanbul. Did you ever grow up eating anything like this at all in Mongolia?
It's interesting, like in Mongolia, like breakfast culture is not that big, especially when you compare it to Turkish breakfast culture. There's just significant difference. We don't have like different breakfast dishes in Mongolia. I mean,
Interesting.
I mean, we cook eggs, toast bread, butter and jam.
Okay, so they're like separate items, right?
Yeah, separate items. And breakfast is not that big, but we have big lunch. No.
Okay.
And also a big dinner. Now in Mongolia, beef is like significant part of our like culture. There's different kinds of beef soup. There's different kind of beef stews.
Breakfast for me, there's definitely the typical American, like, right, cereal, or you also had toast sometimes, or bagels and cream cheese, just basic stuff. But now and then, we would make these huge breakfast meals. So I have four brothers, right? So all the meals that I know how to make, I mostly just kind of remember. They're all like massive meals. They're all like heavy on carbs, and because there's 5 boys, right? And I think I made it with you before, but like hash browns or more like home fries is actually probably the better description of the potato. So we'd make potatoes like home fries, and then we would also make this huge omelet. And my mom would either have some French toast or pancakes or something. And sometimes, bacon and sausage. And so, that's kind of your typical diner experience, right, in the United States. But that's like, we would do that at home too. Waffles, actually, right? We did waffles that time. Yeah, I just have a craving for that every now and then, which was kind of interesting because, like in Turkey, for example, they do have waffles, but they're like dessert waffles. They're not a breakfast thing. And so I never had a breakfast like that in Turkey because it's just not part of their culture. Right? It's more like Menemen or a Turkish breakfast plate. Lots of bread, like we would eat bread with toast, but if we were going to do one of those meals, we would probably have no bread, except if you're making French toast or, like pancakes, which is not bread, but a little different. That's right. Yeah, I remember, right, we'd go down, merhaba abi, nasıl gidiyor, bir menemen alabilir miyim, right? And then like 1 egg or 2 eggs, right?
Yeah, miss those times.
What were you doing in Turkey again?
I was a student in Istanbul, Turkey. I was in my senior year, or right after graduation. That's when you moved to Turkey, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming pretty close, right?
Yeah.
And I was kind of in a definitely like cultural exchange, right? We did a little involved a little English club for a little while. Just kind of want to experience different culture. We kind of had some mutual friends, right? And,
that's how we ended up living in the same house.
Yeah, it's so funny,
when
man.
we became roommates.
That was a blessing for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, and you had already known some of the culture and language, and so that really helped with like me, who didn't know anything at that point. Actually, I remember asking you, please tell me if I asked too many questions, because I was asking a lot of questions.
Yeah, that was the first thing you said to me when we met.
Thankfully, you never told me that I asked too many questions.
Yeah.
Maybe I did. You were just too kind not to tell me. But.
And you did your cultural exchange for a couple of years, and after graduation I took like a 2-year break from school. Then I decided to do my master's in Boston. You finished your cultural exchange, you moved back to the States. And again, we ended up being roommates again.
Yeah, it's funny. Again, unintentional, right? You moved here at this kind of house, which is like a community house, right? So people who live together who are actually Christian, right? Like it's kind of the idea behind it. It's a sort of intentional community. And so it's a kind of cool place to go, kind of have that unique bond. But I had no intention of living here. I would move back in with my mom. But as you probably remember, I came out visiting you and just really liked the community and the connection.
All right, so I guess it's time to start cooking.
Yep.
Or Menemen, right?
I think
so. What do we need first?
So we want to do just the peppers, right, and the onions. Just get them sauteed.
Okay. When you think about it, you know, like you are from like Massachusetts. I'm from Mongolia.
Yeah.
And when you look at the food cultures, there's significant difference, but we both love Turkish.
Absolutely.
Cuisines and Turkish dishes.
Yeah.
So I think I would say Menemen is actually like both of our favorite
Yep. Yeah, man.
dishes.
There's that Turkish stew, right, kubesh, which is pretty good. But when it comes to like breakfast, like this is definitely my favorite. It's one thing that I was just different at first, but it's like a process of time, you know. I fell in love with it. You know?
Yeah.
Thinking about cooking, thinking about culture, we talked a lot about that. And obviously, like, a huge part of culture is also like religion or faith, right?
When you think about like Turkey, you know, it's obviously like Islam is the main religion, and you see that, you know, like when you go out there, like how like Islam and how the people's faith affected their diet or like just
absolutely
like eating behavior, you know. People in Turkey, like most of them, you know, especially if they're like Muslims, they don't eat like pork. Like just thinking about my culture, and beef is a huge part of our like diet, and despite the change, you know, like the transition in faith, you know, the beef always persists.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's true, right?
Beef, yeah.
I mean, that's a beautiful thing of like the gospel, right? It's not American, it's not African, it's not European. It's really for all cultures, all places, and so it doesn't have that limitation. It's not like, oh, I believe in Jesus, and then all of a sudden, like, I have to eat food a certain way, right? But there's so much freedom, right, for you to be able to actually eat what you want, what your culture, the way that your culture eats, right? What do you think now?
Looks great.
All right,
yeah.
You cut it off. Oh yeah.
The color combination.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. I really am.
It's been a while since we had Menemen.
So we should probably try this, right?
So we have our Menemen, we have our bread, so let's try it out.
Dip it in. See how this goes, right like that. Wow. So definitely the egg, tomato, but there's a lot of flavor in there.
Yeah.
I think the peppers and the onions really help. And then the cheese is like...
Cheese is pretty good. I mean,
yeah, it's there, but it's not like overpowerful.
Yeah.
I feel like. This has been a fun time, man.
Yeah, it's been fun cooking together once again.
Yeah.
Especially our favorite Turkish breakfast dish.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been, I can't imagine what it'd be like cooking without you here. So I really appreciate it, man. Let's have some more.